You sign a guy like Colton Wong, to me, it is a statement that you're ready to win right now. And that's great if you're telling me that. But that changes the expectations going forward. And if you're paying $10 million to a lighter hitting middle infielder, you better be competitive right now. You need to see results, and you can't sell me on the future and sort of lessening pressure and making an incremental step.
They know, though, the future on some of these guys, right? I mean, they have a good feel for – I would imagine they're getting a pretty good feel for where Evan White's career trajectory is going to go at this point in time. I know it's early, but I feel like at this point in time, they have to start thinking about alternatives, don't they?
Sure, but that's not Colton Wong, right? Colton Wong's a second baseman.
At second base, I guess, who do you have in the pipeline that you were looking at and saying that you're going to put there? Is that Noel V. Marte? Do you move J.P. Crawford around? Like, I think in the short term, I don't see the harm in having a placeholder player. And I think a guy like Colton Wong is a placeholder player, right? You're signing him for 1 year. Wouldn't it?
No, you're not, because you would have to sign him for 2. Well, he signed with the Brewers for 2 years.
Okay. He's
not going to take a 1-year deal for $10 million when he can get 2 years at 20 with the Brewers.
Is 2 years for 20 that difficult to stomach? Do you feel like next year that this team would be closer? And it's
Colton Wong, man. Like, you can pay $10 million to a relatively light hitting second baseman in any offseason. And what happens if he stinks? He's hitting pretty well right now. At the end of the year, he stinks. And you're like, well, we spent $10 million this year that we could have saved and spent toward next year. And we've got to pay him $10 million next year. And we've got to buy a second baseman, too?
I get that, but you're also you're paying nothing right now for below average production at the position, and you're basically just cycling through guys, and you're throwing them out there and seeing, hey, is this guy going to work today? Oh, is this guy going to work today? Is that necessarily better when you know that the potential of those guys that are like walking in through second base is probably not very high?
Are you ready to win right now?
I just don't feel like I need to be on the verge of winning to sign someone like Colton Wong.
I think you do.
I
think to spend $20 million over 2 years on a light hitting second baseman, you have to tell me that he's going to make a difference in you being relevant and contending.
I'm not a poor, though. I'm not the A's. I'm not the Rays. I feel like it shouldn't be that much of a detriment for you for 2 years, $20 million.
But there are budget restrictions.
Right.
You do. That's $10 million you can't spend on someone else. That's $20 million over 2 years that you can't spend on someone else for Colton Wong.
I get that.
Come on.
I get that, but guess what? Like, these young players that you're bringing up, aren't you paying them basically pennies? Like, you are literally paying them nothing. Like, my big holdup is that you're not paying anything. So I don't mind paying a little bit more than I should for someone like a Colton Wong, at least in the short term, because I'd like to have someone that at the very least I feel comfortable with, as opposed to this musical chairs game that it seems like they are playing with a lot of the young players.
Yeah, I don't want to pay $10 million to be okay. I don't want to be $10 million, pay $10 million and say maybe we can get someone better there.
If the alternative is bad, I'm okay with the 10.